Hello and welcome to another Trailside Dukes podcast. Thank you for being here with us.
Like and subscribe and hit the post notification bell for more.
All right. So we've got a pretty action-packed program today, Tony. What do we have on the list?
Well, wait a second, Corey. Before we get too far into this, I notice you're sporting a new hat.
I am, yes.
Okay. What do you got there?
This is one of the new Trailside Dukes hats. If you really like it.
Dude, give him a little 3D action.
Yeah, it's the trucker style hat. No sweat stain yet.
Durner.
But a few different colors to choose from. There's beanies. We've got candles. We've got there's Tony's hat. We've got shirts. Even got a pickleball set for those that are interested in pickleball. So
For sure.
Go check it out.
It's a beautiful thing, Corey.
We will have a link to the shop in our description, and you can definitely check it out and see what kind of goodies are in there for you.
You know, something else is new today, Corey.
What's that?
Well, we are recording this, right, for the Trailside Dukes YouTube channel.
That's right, we are.
So you'll see some cool stuff on there. Not that you have to listen to the podcast and then go watch whatever. It's a busy world. But some people prefer YouTubes and this and that. And our audience is expanding on a daily basis, Corey.
It's getting big.
I know. It's a big deal. So we got producers. We got all kinds of stuff now, right? Callie, say hi, producing.
Hi.
Okay. Okay. So, Corey, moving on into our list here for today. A little bit of NFL.
Yeah. Kind of a crazy week 4, huh?
Packers lost, Dan.
My Dolphins lost too. Sorry, Dan. It's okay, buddy.
Dan's the man.
Oh, gosh.
I know.
Well, I knew the Bills were going to be a powerhouse, and I wasn't putting all my eggs in that basket. So,
right.
Just tough loss. Not as tough as yours, probably, losing to the Lions.
Tough divisional loss.
Oh, well.
Both of us. Yeah.
Still more season left. Long way to go.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried.
There were some interesting games, though. I mean, some lopsided ones. Houston over the Steelers, 30-6.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an interesting one. Vikings picked up their first one. Go, Nick!
Oh, Nick's
Go
happy.
Vikings!
Maybe he's not going to be so mad.
Oh, man, give us a week.
He gets mad.
Bucks over the Saints, kind of big. And the Commanders went into overtime with the Eagles. That was kind of an interesting one. So some that were just kind of flip-flopped from the week before.
Yep.
Tennessee taking it to the Bengals. And, man.
I like Joe Burrows.
The poor Bears. Bears are 0-4.
The Bears.
And I just feel for them. I mean, some of those fans are diehard fans, and it's just tough.
Yeah.
But, Tony, I was looking at it, and I came across some of the last 5 coaches that the Bears have had and what their records have been like. So I'm sorry if you're a Bears fan. I used to love the Bears. But these coaches aren't getting it done. So I don't know if it's just, I'm not putting it all on the coaches, but sometimes organizations have to decide who's going to lead the charge. And so pretty much the last guy to do that was Lovie Smith. And
he had some good playoff. He took him to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Lovey.
So his record was 81-63 with 3 playoff appearances and 1 Super Bowl appearance, right?
Brian Urlacher. Remember him?
Yeah. I think they played the Colts in that Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Peyton took it to him in the rain.
So then they get rid of Lovie Smith. They get Mark Trestman. He goes 13-19.
He was a CFL guy. Did really well in the CFL, and they tried him out in the NFL, and not so good. Different game.
And then they had John Fox, who went 14-34, which was kind of a surprise to me. And then Matt Nagy, after that, went 34-31. They made it to 2 playoffs. Bears probably are still stung by the Cody Parkey miss. He used to kick field goals for the Dolphins, but now you know why he doesn't kick field goals at all anymore, right?
NFL, not for long.
And then Matt Eberflus, Fluss. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I don't even know that guy.
I think you got some fluss today.
Yeah, a little bit.
I've heard.
Well, he's 3-17, so tough going for the Bears. Sorry, guys.
Yep.
That's probably enough NFL talk.
That's it.
What about the playoffs at Major League Baseball? Hey, I'm excited because I don't have to grow a mustache. The Mariners didn't make it, so no stash.
Boy, that must have been hard for the Mariners fans.
I just want to touch yours.
Yeah, you don't have to grow a stash, but you are getting shot with a paintball.
No, that's not happening.
That was in the bet.
I don't remember that part.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, have you talked to a bunch of Mariners fans? Are they?
We're not talking.
Right. I've talked to a couple, and
I
now
think
they're
we need
like,
to go get a
well, now
latte."
we're cheering for the Blue Jays. So I'm like, if the Mariners made it to the playoffs and the Blue Jays didn't, I would never switch and cheer for the Mariners. I don't like the Mariners. I'm a Blue Jays fan. Why would I switch and cheer for
They're
another
trying
team?
to get you to root
But
for
I've talked to
why?
so many Mariners fans. They're like, oh, yeah, it's okay. Now I'll cheer. Boo-hoo, Mariners fans. Too bad, so sad. Yep, next year. I'm going to get you mad.
It's over. No, it's not.
over.
I'm not going to get mad. I mean,
It's over.
the Twins are kind of my other team.
Let's see what I mean. Exactly.
Well, let's go through and tell the Dukes crew members and our fans what the Major League Baseball looks like. Let's just go through the wild card race.
Yep, that's where they're at right now.
Not the race, but the wild card round, and we'll look at the matchups and just.
You want to make picks?
Yeah, let's make a pick.
Do you want to bet on who?
No, I'm
wins
not betting anything.
Okay, so double or nothing. But if I win, then I get to shoot you 10 times.
I just told
with a
you I don't
paintball.
want to bet anything.
10 times with paintball. Okay.
Unbelievable.
So one of the series
How did it go to
is
10?
the Diamondbacks, Arizona, against Milwaukee, which you like to refer to as the Brew Crew.
The Brew Crew.
Yeah, they're, I like them. They got Christian
Yeah.
Yelich. You got a Croatian on there. So what's your pick? Diamondbacks or the Brew Crew?
The Diamondbacks just got swept by the Astros at home, and they still barely made the playoffs while they lost. They didn't help the Mariners at all. I do like the Diamondbacks. I got to go with the Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's going to get it. These are 3-game sets, so they only got to win 2 games. I
picked Milwaukee because Arizona has no Croatians and Milwaukee's got 1. So they're going to win.
Arizona has a good rookie player, though.
Is he Croatian?
No.
Okay, there you go.
I think he has a mustache, though.
I like mustaches.
Okay.
Okay, how about Miami against Philly?
I would think I feel like there's been a lot of noise with Philadelphia, so I feel like I'm gonna go with Philadelphia over that one.
Oddly enough, I'll agree with you.
Okay.
Okay, how about Tampa Bay versus Texas?
Ooh, Texas bullpen.
I hate both those teams.
Yeah.
Hate them both. They're both good, but I hate them both.
My brother's in Tampa, so I might pick. I feel like Tampa Bay can get it done. They should be able to get it done. Texas hasn't been playing that well. Mariners didn't play that well, and they still picked up a couple of games on them the last series. So I think Tampa Bay.
Right. Okay, I will
You don't
go
like
with
Tampa Bay because they're in the East.
I'm going with Texas. I mean, they're both evil, but I'll take the lesser of the evil Texas.
Okay.
Okay, how about the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Minnesota Twins?
Let's go Twins.
Seriously?
Why? I'm not going to root for Blue Jays.
Every other Mariners fan is.
Okay. I want Minnesota to win that, but I think Toronto will win.
Okay.
I think Toronto's been playing good baseball
Here's what I
lately.
think's going to happen. Toronto's going to lose the first game.
And then I get to shoot you with a paintball gun.
No.
Oh.
Toronto will lose the first game and win the next 2. That's my prediction. Now, our listeners who know when they'll listen to this, right? They might listen to Friday, and by then Thursday is if it goes
Doesn't
to
matter
game 3,
because Toronto will already be out.
No, Toronto's going to win the World Series, Corey.
Okay.
They're going to play the Braves, and the Braves are going to go in cocky because they've had such an amazing record. But guess what? When you start the playoffs, it's a whole new season.
We're going to have to see who wins these rounds to see what will happen later on.
I'm just telling you. I read I got like one of those, those, what is it, the 8-ball where you shake it, and I went through every series, and I foresaw it. And it's going to be Blue Jays Braves, and the Blue Jays are going to win it in 7.
Wow.
I know. It's pretty amazing.
That's what the 8-ball said.
Okay. Hey, talk to us about like a special thing in MLB.
Well, it was cool the other day. For those that don't know, Miguel Cabrera, long-time baseball guy in the majors, plays first base for Detroit now. He got to go into the game. He wasn't playing in the last game. Last game, if you're out of it and you're not going into the playoffs, a lot of teams will bring in some of their guys from the lower levels and try them out and see what's going on to figure
Minor
out
leagues?
the team. Yeah, bring them up from the minors and stuff like that.
We're talking baseball.
Yeah. And then he was – thank you. He was sitting out that game, but they put him in near the end of the game, and they were going to take the field, right, in between innings. The guys will go out. They'll take the field. They'll do their warm-up tosses and stuff like that. So he went out to first base, and instead of the team all going out of the dugout to take the field, they let him lead them out, but then they stopped, and he ran out there. He ran all the way out to first base thinking that they were behind him. He turned around, and they're all standing there, and then the crowd did a big ovation.
Awesome.
Yeah, set him up, and then he was able to get a ground out at first. It came right to him. He snagged it and put the out on the bag, and then they pulled him out of the game after that, after doing a big thing. Really cool to see. Good guy for baseball. He's been fun to watch.
With him retiring, it's kind of an end of an era of guys that, I'm sure there'll be some other guys. There's
Right.
there's
a lot of good new guys.
Some older guys that are still in the playoffs, but as those guys retire, it's always kind of sad because that's kind of like an end of an era. You've been watching those guys for like 10, 15 years, and it's just it's like when Dan Marino retired. Didn't you curl up in a ball and cry like a baby?
I was sad.
I know.
There's Dan right here.
Okay.
He helps lead the show.
Okay. Anything else sports-wise, college stuff going on?
Let's go into some college action here.
Okay.
Let's see. We've got a few different things. I got college basketball. We got college volleyball. We got my buddy Larry Fitzgerald. He was inducted the other day into the Pittsburgh Hall of Fame for University of Pittsburgh.
Will you explain to the listeners and viewers, like, when you say your buddy Larry Fitzgerald, how did you get to meet Larry and how's this stuff? Because that guy is like, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
You know what I mean? He had an amazing career for the Arizona Cardinals, stud receiver. Explain that.
So I met Larry a couple years ago during the summer. I was at one of the golf events here in town that you've been to.
Yes.
The showcase.
I saw him golf. He's a good athlete. So
met him one of the evenings at that with Coach Mark Few of the Gonzaga Bulldogs, and he kind of had the connection. And so we found out that Larry was a pickleball player, and so he was he's good. Talking about his game. I wouldn't say trash talker, but he's like, I'm good. And so Mark was like, well, let's go see how good you are. And so the next morning, we went out to a private court and played, and he's got very good hands, as you would expect, right? An NFL wide receiver.
For sure.
Very good hands.
Right.
Very athletic, very big young guy.
Strapping.
Just like... Man, what a specimen. Beautiful specimen, I could say. Like, I wish I could look like that.
Settle down, man.
Man, he's got like an ounce of body fat.
Right.
Seriously.
Okay.
So, pretty good pickleball player. So we hit it off really well. I had to pick him up, in the Subaru Outback and drive him around. Very humble guy, very nice guy.
I've heard you say that.
Yeah, super cool. Even this last summer, just playing with him.
He plays a lot of pickleball.
He does. He's very good.
Did you beat him?
So, maybe.
Oh, you're not going to say.
Well,
you don't want to hurt his feelings.
No, he's a good guy.
Where does Larry live?
He was actually born in. He grew up in Minnesota. So I think he still has some time that he does up there. And
but he
probably
must have had a nice
also
house in Arizona. So he probably resides in Arizona somewhere, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm just wondering, like, if he plays a lot of pickleball, he probably doesn't live in Montana, right? Because all they do is shoot guns and fish and football, right? It's football, fish, and guns. He probably lives in Arizona because they play a lot of pickleball there.
He still is in Arizona, and I think he does a little time outside of Arizona, you know, at other places.
Oh,
Probably
sure.
depends on his schedule and what his family's got going on and all
You
that
think
stuff.
he's ever played pickleball in Montana?
I don't know. I think we should ask him.
Okay.
Yeah, sometime we'll get him on and ask him.
Maybe he'll email
So,
us in.
congratulations to him into the Hall of Fame. I think that's really cool.
Pitt. You know who else was from Pitt?
Dan Marino.
Okay.
Let's go.
Stud.
All right. For those of you that don't know, speaking of, Coach Few, Gonzaga this weekend, the time is upon us. There is crazy in the kennel going on. That's where the basketball teams come out. They do, they do little games like 3-point contest or dunk things and,
Fun.
Good show. They do fun stuff for the crowd, and that's cool for the community because people that aren't able to get into the games during the season, they're able to do this kind of preseason thing and get tickets and go in and watch them, and it's really cool. So I know a lot of people really love being able to do that because that's when they're able to get into the kennel and see the guys, because during the season it's
hard to get tickets.
Pretty tough to get tickets. Yeah, definitely. I think they could be in the arena and still sell out all of their games, you know, and it holds more people. So it's just something that it's built up to, right?
Yeah, it's a cool atmosphere.
And then also moving down to the Palouse, about 90 minutes south, is this awesome ladies volleyball club for WSU. And not to mention, WSU football is doing pretty well this season as well.
Highly ranked. Their quarterback's on the radar for being a top quarterback in the nation.
And their coach is in talks for Wisconsin or Michigan State.
Oh, I hope he doesn't leave. But it's all weird, right? You just root for you like me like to root for the underdogs, and with the turmoil in the Pac-12, which some people are calling the Pac-2 because Oregon State and Washington State,
two scoops in a pile.
Yeah, I know. So it's kind of fun to root for them. But when that WSU women's
volleyball,
what are they? Where are they ranked?
They're like in the top 5 in the nation right now. They've been taking out some big teams. They've been taking out Stanford, Texas. They've had some really good games, and those girls they're winning them pretty handedly. So
it's pretty sweet.
Good job.
Did you see that volleyball a few weeks ago in Nebraska where they played it on the football field?
Yeah,
they had 100,000 people out watching women's volleyball.
Pretty awesome.
It was really cool.
That was really neat.
Yep.
Maybe that should be something that they start doing other places. I mean, they do it for
why not?
The hockey, right? Hockey outside at Chicago and Wrigley Field, or and
I think they should.
Boston and
WNBA
New York.
is getting good crowds. It's exciting. You know what I mean? Good for women's sports. Super fun.
Definitely. I think it's a great way to showcase their talents to more people. We were saying, if you're always selling out that smaller venue, maybe it makes sense to do the bigger venue revenue-wise. Maybe they can pull in more money. I'm not an AD at a college or anything, but...
Well, dude, maybe you should talk to Coach Few. Let's play
does a great
an
job. I don't need
basketball game in January on a football field. On a football field, outdoor.
A football field, outside.
A little snow.
I think
fun.
So they go to Las Vegas and Maui and
we'll talk to Coach Few.
I'm pretty sure there's other places.
They'd be the first college team to play outdoors. Oh, it'd be awesome.
They did it last year in San Diego. They played on the ship. That was outside.
You're right. But I'm talking about we're Spokane, Northwest. It's wintertime, outside.
Throw snowballs.
Let's just see how tough they are.
Tee them up.
Yeah, the Croatian, he'll play in that. Zeg's got a Croat.
The Croatian sensation.
I heard that you've kind of dubbed him that.
Coined that.
I know.
Let's go. Croatian.
Okay.
Luka.
I know. My name is Luka. I live on the second floor.
What is this?
You don't know that song?
Isn't
that a Tracy Chapman song?
I think you need to sing more of it for me because I don't know what that is.
You've never heard that song?
Let's sing it again.
My name is Luka. I live on the second floor.
No.
Okay. Should we move on to the Carol Corner?
I think we should move on to something if you're going to keep singing.
I definitely agree, Corey. Yeah. You're going to be on my mat. Now listen, Carroll Corner,
Cheers.
super exciting. I'm going to get to the football stuff, but let's jump into some. We haven't talked about their golf team, Corey.
Oh.
So they just play, I know. Let's see here. I need my reading glasses there.
Oh,
Callie,
boy.
can you read that? It's above the soggy. And we put some,
Nothing soggy.
it's something soggy is the name of the golf course. Can you read that?
43.
No, to the right of that.
Soggy. Soccer.
Okay.
Baseball.
Okay.
There's
well,
nothing even says
I
soggy.
know. I forgot to write the rest. I think it's like soggy course Bozeman or something.
Did they
apologize. Well, the men's team, they finished 9th. The women's team finished 6th at the soggy golf something. Sorry.
You're just drinking ice water.
I know. Okay, moving on.
Good job, golf.
Women's soccer.
Let's go.
Right? They tied Bushnell Bushnell 1-1. That's an Oregon team, and then Corbin University. You tell me to stop tapping.
Tap,
Corbin
tapping.
University.
Tapping that putt
Sorry,
in.
I got nervous.
You're
I
still
got
on
flustered because of the golf thing. Okay?
I've got some golf after that to tell
I'm
you
going to
about.
golf you. Now, Corbin University, they won 1-0. So that women's team is still undefeated. They've had a few ties, but no losses. They're kicking butt. Pretty exciting stuff. Men's soccer.
Let's go soccer.
They beat Bushnell 3-1. And then the next day on Sunday, they lost to Corbin University. Oh, no, they tied 1-1 to Corbin University.
Okay.
So
Good showings for the men's
pretty good.
and
They're
women's
fighting.
there.
Fun.
Good.
Okay. Football. So
Tell us about the game.
the mighty Fighting Saints
went up north, right?
went to
You're still
Havre,
tapping your
Montana.
putts.
Okay, catch me on the tapping. Went to Havre, Montana, and played the Northern Lights, and beat them 43-3.
Oh,
Yep. So it was a pretty good.
commanding win.
It was a commanding win, and so they didn't have to do a ton of passing. There were some actually pretty good plays, but mostly it was the ground game. Several players got touchdowns, but really what I want to highlight, and you're going to find out in the Cool Friends segment when we interview some of the D-line from the Fighting Saints, this was just dominating defense. So allowing 3 points, the Lights barely got any passing, any rushing. It was just a complete shutdown. And Carroll's defense has shown that all year. Just with, they're 5-0, and defense wins championships. And I'm really looking forward to sharing with our audience on the Cool Friends segment to talk to some of these outstanding young men and just get nitty gritty on defense. You like defense, Corey? Or are you more of an offense guy?
Marino made me more of an offensive kind of fan. Okay. But defense,
yeah,
you've always said it, and your buddy says it, Brian. They win championships, and it's a kind of that old adage. So you got to have it, right? I mean, that sounds like it was more of like this Seahawks Giants game that happened last night on Monday Night Football. I mean, that's what I saw was some defense in that one, and that's
pretty
what it
rare
sounds like this
for a
Carroll
championship team not to have a great defense. Whether you go NFL, college, whatever. If you don't have a really good defense, Dan Marino, right? He was a stud, but never won a championship because he never had a defense behind him that was doing a great job.
Right. That's how he had to put up those big numbers, just keep them in games.
I know. So with that win, Corey, in the NAI rankings, the Saints move up to number 8, so they're climbing the ladder.
Moved up a spot, okay.
Moving up a spot,
cool.
Which is pretty exciting. Also, Spencer Berger, their kicker, was Frontier Conference Special Teams Player of the Week.
Really?
Had 2 field goals of 42 yards and was 5 for 5 on all his PATs.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
He's accounting
there we go.
for.
I like kickers.
6 points plus 5 PATs. Do you know what that equals, Corey?
11 points.
He accounted for 11 points just on his leg. You know what I mean? So
I like it.
That's pretty good stuff. Fun.
Hey, you were talking a little golf. I have a little fun fact of golf for you that came across the wire.
Okay. They do play golf in Montana. I've seen it.
Okay.
Yep.
But just not pickleball?
Not pickleball.
I played pickleball in Montana a couple weeks ago. I told you that.
I know, but it didn't really count.
So I found this interesting that came across. Two golfers get military exemption with the Asian Games gold. So they won gold. These guys are from South Korea. I'm just going to call them by their last name. Im and Kim of South Korea captured this by helping South Korea win its first team gold medal in 13 years at the Asian Games in China.
Wow.
And those two become exempt from a mandatory 21 months of military service before the age of 35. So kind of interesting. It says here, any South Korean athlete who wins an Olympic gold medal at the Asian Games, or an Olympic medal or gold medal, it says, at the Asian Games, is exempt from the obligation. It was the first year that professionals were eligible to compete in the Asian Games. So those two guys get exempt. That's kind of hardcore.
Yep, that's big time.
Man.
Be thankful for living in US of A, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And the Ryder Cup, we lost to Europe. Haven't won in Europe. The U.S. hasn't won in Europe in like 20 years. I think 93 was the last time they won it in England. So we're not like super huge golfers, but I thought maybe we'd share a little golf since you were on the topic of some Carroll golf there. And, maybe next year we'll win it. Not next year, but they play it every 2 years. So
right.
It'll be back on American soil. So
okay.
Kind of an amped up Ryder Cup, though, afterwards. Your friend Rory McIlroy.
Aye, right then. Okay.
He was a little hot-headed near the end. I guess there was some words exchanged or something in the parking lot afterwards.
Scottish people, they got hot blood.
I don't know.
They get mad fast.
I didn't know he was fired up from the get-go. He was talking about how they're going to give us.
It doesn't
the beat
take
down.
much for Scottish people to get mad.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I've been around a lot of Scottish people.
You were telling me on one of the previous episodes that you were going to do something to me.
Yeah, I was going to give you a Scottish kiss.
Yeah. Oh, a headbutt.
A headbutt.
Yeah.
You want it right now?
No, that's okay.
Okay, maybe later.
Headbutts and pickleball or
I'll give you the Scottish kiss when I shoot you with the paintball.
I don't know what would be worse, the Scottish kiss or getting a kiss with that mustache on.
What? Dude, I'm not going to kiss you. It's Scottish
No,
kiss
I'm
is
saying I
so
would rather
grab
take
you like this.
I'd rather take it.
And give you
I'd
a
rather
headbutt.
take the Scottish kiss and deal with that. You got a couple
want
of
the headbutt?
stragglers. There's one right there.
I got some leftover dinner
You
in
should
there.
let me pluck it.
I'm not letting you do anything. Okay. Don't touch me. Okay.
Well, I think it might be time for one of our fans, the Dukes Crew members. They love this segment.
We've got a lot of fans of the segment, yes.
Well, I think we should do some I'm Mad.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
I agree.
All right. Well, do you want to start with some emails from I'm Mad?
Yeah, and have we shared our email on this yet?
Well, listen, if you want to reach us and you want to tell us what you're mad about, or if you just want to ask us some questions, we can go to the fan mailbag, but you got to email us at trailsidedukes@gmail.com.
It's right below my hand. You see it?
Okay.
I don't know if our editing crew gets that in. I just wanted to.
You just want to put your
mess with you.
finger in front of me.
Yeah.
So this first one comes from, look at this, Tony. It's from Coach Trent Dilfer.
No way.
From UAB.
Trent used to play for the Sea Chickens, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then won a Super Bowl
with the
Baltimore.
Ravens. Yeah.
What's he mad about?
He is mad at his coaching staff, it looks like, from this last weekend for having 12 men in the huddle.
Dude, that's CFL rules.
Tell us what CFL. I don't know a lot of CFL rules.
Well, I grew up in Canada. CFL is an outstanding league. And in the Canadian Football League, you have 12 players on the field for each side.
Oh, so maybe his coaching staff thought they were playing in Canada or something?
Maybe, yeah.
They were only down by one possession, and he came unglued. So I think that's why he's mad.
So he was mad.
Yeah.
That kind of blew the game for him.
Okay. This next one is from CJ. He says, hello, Dukes of the Trailside. I'm very mad with Coach Corey. Sounds like somebody I know. He decided not to elaborate in the pickleball segment last week on how I dominated everyone else on the court. Signed by an upset CJ. Well,
help us understand, because you're
just
Coach
say,
Corey.
Yeah, I would just say that he still has a lot of work to do.
Okay.
I don't remember ever losing anything to him that weekend in pickleball.
Yeah, well, Callie showed me some video highlights, and yeah, he's kind of like when he swings, he doesn't really hit the ball. Like, it seems like that's important in pickleball.
He hits it, but it just doesn't go over or in.
That's not good in pickleball?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's not going to win you a lot of matches.
Where were you guys playing?
We were playing in Montana.
Maybe he should, like, stick with shooting guns, going fishing. Maybe that would be more helpful for him.
Up his alley.
You know what? You know this. Fishing's therapeutic. Right?
I don't know if we're helping him with the I'm mad segment. He might just be getting even more mad.
But listen, like if he listens, right, and goes, maybe instead of playing pickleball, I go fishing in Montana, he'll be a happier person.
The river's right there.
Go fishing in Montana.
Okay.
You know what I mean, CJ? You will be a happier person.
So there you go, CJ. Thanks for writing in. Appreciate the message there.
Yeah.
This next one, should we just keep going, or do you want to...
No, keep going.
Because we have stuff we're mad about.
We do?
We will cover that.
Okay.
This one is from one of our Trailside Dukes crew members, Helmy.
Helmy?
Helmy.
Okay.
She says, hey guys, I'm mad about diggers that don't fit properly. I think this is like pants or underpants or I don't know. Diggers.
I don't know what diggers are.
I thought diggers was kind of like a term for people that grew up in the western United States back in the early days.
Montana Tech, right? They're called the ore diggers.
Right.
So maybe it's something with diggers.
She says either they're too big and fall down, big problem when you're not wearing pants, or too tight, and yeah, you get the idea. So I think they're underpants or something, right? So she's mad about that. She's also mad about no toilet paper, something you might know about.
It happens.
Tell us what happened, just for those, if you're just tuning in.
I just explained that last episode.
I know, but just give us a
quick rundown.
Yeah.
When you're going out in the woods, you always want to have some toilet paper with you.
Life lesson.
And if you run out, you got to be creative. And
you ran out, and what did you use?
A koozie.
Like a drink koozie that would go around the can.
Yeah. That's all I had in my mountain bike gear.
How did that feel?
That actually was soft.
Yeah?
That was nice.
Not a bad choice.
So maybe you gotta, tell Helmy, like, hey, grab a few koozies, have them with you all the time.
Helmy, more koozies, and if you need them,
it's emergency.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or just pack toilet paper.
Or Helmy, just go fishing. It's therapeutic. It'll make you happy. So you'll forget about the diggers not fitting. You'll forget about not having TP. And, you just go fishing and have fun. You're in the river, right? Then that's just like a bidet. You just take care of business right there in the river.
Unbelievable.
Well, you don't want to poop in the river.
Callie's showing us a picture of diggers right there.
Oh, those are like short jeans.
What it said.
The diggers.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not saying poop in the river. I'm saying, like, if you got to run out somewhere on the hill or whatever, but then you got the river to kind of clean yourself up.
So if there was a river on next to the trail that you were on that day, would you have gone in the river?
No, I had a koozie.
But you wouldn't have used you wouldn't have used the river for anything, like you're saying.
No, I had to finish my mountain bike ride. I koozied it up and then took off.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, and then I lit one of our candles right there to kind of get...
a Trailside Dukes candle.
I didn't want the animals smelling that, so
no.
Buried it.
We have 5 cents in Trailside Duke candles.
Buried it, lit the
Don't
candle.
Forget to check them out.
Burn the koozie.
9 ounces.
You're not going to use it again.
No, it's done.
Ooh, terrible.
She also says, and I wonder what your thoughts are on Wrexham and Ryan Reynolds and how he's doing as the owner. So I think she's referring to the soccer team. I do not know how they're doing. I do know about them, so he must be doing something right. I don't know if that's just because of his Hollywood, presence and him doing that. I honestly don't know much about the team. I'd have to research it before I could really.
I'm out.
You're out. Okay. She says, thanks, guys. Love the show. So thank you, Helmy. Appreciate
Thanks, Helmy.
you. Thanks for writing in. What are you mad about this week, Tony?
Okay, so we were in good old Havre, Montana, and my sister, brother-in-law, and their friends drove down from Calgary, Alberta, across the border, met us at the Havre game, and we watched Jack play, and, he got to see aunt and uncle, and hugged it out, pictures. We went out to dinner afterwards. Not many choices in Havre, but this was kind of a cool pub kind of place. Murphy's, great place.
Murphy's?
Yeah.
That's what it was called?
Yep.
Okay.
Had a great dinner, you know what I mean? And
what did they have there? Like, what's their menu look like for us that don't know?
Pub-style burgers, whatever.
Yeah.
Good burger.
Okay.
Ate, had fun, and Jess, my wife, and I were kind of in a rush because we had to drive the 3.5 hours back to Helena. And so we hug it out with them. And what's funny, and Canadians were like weirded out by this is, you put your credit card down, right? And they're used to in Canada where you have to punch in a code for them to run your card. They're like, you don't have to do that.
Like a PIN?
Yeah, you got to put your PIN in every time.
Okay.
Even at a restaurant, like you put a PIN in the bank machine, but they're used to that where they just said every restaurant in Calgary, Alberta. That's you bring it out to them. You plug it in, you punch in your PIN, and then it runs the card.
Oh.
Well, I had to explain him that. And there were several distractions, right? And Jess and I got to go. So, and I forgot my wallet in the car, so Jess hands me her card. Your husband and wife. And so you give the card. They bring it back on the table. We hug it out. We jump in the car, and we take off. And by the time we got to Great Falls, Jess like, where's my card?
Oh,
said,
no.
Well, I don't know. I thought I gave it to you. She said, no, you didn't give it to me. So, when, the husband-wife relationship is a real special one, and I subscribe to the yes, dear philosophy.
And tell us about that.
But yes, dear, you know what I mean? So
that's all, okay.
Happy
get
wife,
with that.
happy wife, happy life.
Sure.
But it wasn't all on me. She didn't ask for the card. I got to be quiet because she's upstairs. But, hello, so I'm mad, just on those little things. And it happens. We've been married for 27 years. And,
were you supposed to grab the card?
Maybe.
And that's what I'm thinking. So that's what you're mad about? You're mad that you forgot to grab the card?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that be the right way to put it?
I think so.
Yes, dear.
Yes, Jess, if you listen to this, I'm mad at myself for not telling you to get the card.
It's very admirable of you.
Right.
Okay.
How about you, Corey?
I thought I was upset about something earlier. I remember what it is. I totally remember.
How you started this show would be your guts. I'd be mad at your guts right now, too.
I'm feeling pretty good. This water has really helped.
Okay.
This seltzer water.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have something I'm mad about.
Okay.
It happened yesterday when I was out fly fishing on the river.
Do say.
Thank you for taking your hat off.
Yep. I know. Well, this is a sad moment.
It was sad. And you don't know this. You haven't heard this yet. I haven't told you.
No, yeah.
But this is something that happened yesterday when I was at the river. I was almost done fishing. I caught this.
Oh, you caught a massive fish.
Well, I did. I caught a couple of them. But this one that I caught yesterday evening, I'd been looking at it, and it had come into the part of the stream where I was fishing, and it had gone, it'd spook, or something would spook it, and it would go downstream and then come back a little while. So I watched this fish. I probably scouted it for about an hour and a half while I was fishing in other spots.
Right.
But I got to know what its shadow would look like in the water, and these are pretty big salmon, so I could kind of see them through the big current that was going through there. So I'd spotted it, and I finally hooked up with it, and I fought that thing for about 35 minutes.
That's awesome.
It took me far downstream around this bend.
Dragged you.
And it was all over the place. I couldn't even get it on my half of the river.
Did you fall in the river?
I didn't fall.
Okay.
I didn't fall.
Well, that's good.
So I was fighting this thing. It was on the far shoreline, and it's very smart fish. It actually wrapped itself around. It wrapped the line around a big boulder,
Smart fish.
and dug in. Like while I'm tugging on it, right, everything cinches up around the bottom of this rock, and it broke off, and I lost her. I didn't get
curse?
No. It was interesting because I didn't feel the tugging anymore, the fight of the fish, and I kept pulling back on my rod, and I had this vibration, and I was like, that doesn't feel right. I'm hung up on something. And so these two people that were walking up above on the far side, they were elevated up on the shoreline, very, very high, because there was this rock wall, and so they're up high. They said they could see my fly, and I was yelling, hey, can you see the fish? Is there a big salmon down there? They said no. And I was like, oh, shoot, it's off.
Well, at least it broke off, right? And it's not still attached to that rock.
Right, that's good.
So you should be happy.
Yeah, I wanted to get it in. It was big. I mean, the couple of jumps it did, you're like, whoa, this thing is a monster. I think, and it's just not a story because I don't have it. I don't have the evidence. I didn't get it in. I think it was probably the biggest salmon I've ever caught on a fly
that
rod.
would have been fun. So
down here in the lower 48, because I have fished in Alaska, but
yeah. But let me ask you this, Corey. You were outside at a river. It was therapeutic.
It was nice. Great. It was a great day off.
I mean, you didn't drive home thinking you're mad.
I wasn't mad. I was just disappointed that I didn't get to see it. I got the best part of it. I got really a ton of fight.
This is the I'm disappointed segment.
It was a disappointment. Yeah, I was mad. But I was a little mad. I was mad. I was more mad that it broke me off and it took one of my flies with it.
Okay, Debbie Downer, you just brought me down, man. Wow.
Well, we got to go out there. I'll get you up.
I would like that.
Okay.
So
that was it for the I'm Mad segment. So remember, if you want to write in, definitely you can. Email us at trailsidedukes at gmail.com. What else do we have? You got some cool friends you wanted to talk to, right?
Yep. Okay. On to the next segment of the show here. It's kind of a mashup of cool friends and the Carroll Corner. We've got some D linemen here from the Carroll College Fighting Saints. We've got Garrett Warden, Jake Walk, and Hunter Peck. How you guys doing, fellas?
Hey, good. Yeah, doing good. Just relaxing.
Sweet, baby. How did you guys, I know you guys have a bye week, right? So are you guys doing like shortened version of practice this week? How's that going?
Yeah, we pretty much just had a shortened practice on Tuesday morning, and then tomorrow and Friday we kind of have more of a regular practice. Then we have Saturday, and then Sunday it's back to a regular week.
Yep. Getting ready for Eastern Oregon, right?
Yeah, no, it's a good break, kind of mid-season. Get ready for the team. It'll be a good one. We always kind of have a hard time playing at Eastern Oregon for some reason.
Yep. I mean, with you guys at where you're at, 5-0, special group of guys, special staff, coaches, special season. I mean, there's big expectations, as you guys should have, right? So every week is big.
Yeah, definitely. We are definitely looking at every week like it's kind of life or death in a sense. In this conference, there's really no room for errors, so every week matters just as much as the one before.
Big time. It's a tough conference, as Arizona Christian is realizing. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I pulled up some stats here, you guys. I'm going to run through some of this stuff because, I mean, anybody that knows anything about football, talks like defense wins championships. Carroll traditionally has had outstanding defenses, and you guys are proving it again this year. So I'm going to run through some of this stuff. It's pretty fun. So like rushing, average yards per attempt is 2.2 yards. Average rushing per game, 59 yards. You know what I mean? Three touchdowns against in rushing. Like, you guys are putting up a wall. Talk to me about it.
Yeah. Well, I think it really comes down to our defense as a whole and our bend don't break mentality. Us creatures, up front, we take that to heart, and bad stuff is going to happen. But as a defensive front, we're never going to break. And that's one of our main goals. Stop the run so our secondary guys can do their job, and we can have some fun pass rushing up front.
Oh yeah, D-line so fine, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's also this year on our defense, there's been like a huge trend of everybody just relentlessly running to the ball. And so like some of the things we've seen in our past games where maybe our tackling wasn't the best, but just as a result of everybody running so hard to the ball, it's just shown up with the lack of yards that these teams are allowed to get.
For sure. It's huge. Yep. And like total offense for opposing teams, 4.2 yards per play, both with passing and rushing, 237 yards. You guys are you're showing it. That relentlessness is just coming up every down, every play. It's fun to watch you guys fly around.
Yeah, no, it's a fun defense to play for, too. Everyone's very loose and kind of just playing off each other. It's just, we really don't have to, talk too much out there. You kind of just can feel it. It's something else.
It's awesome, man. It's hard to describe sometimes when you're just in that and you just have the chemistry with all the guys.
Yeah, there was during the Northern game, one of the ex-players, I can't forget his name. What was his name? Ryan Day? He talked about the flow state quite a bit, which I feel like our defense is doing a pretty good job. Once we get going after this first couple of drives, we kind of get in our rhythm, and I don't know, we just feel something different out there.
That is a bunch of research because I kind of hobby with sports psychology. This guy named Micaiah Chuckley, he's got like a crazy last name, but he did a bunch of research when you're in that flow and everything is just, you know what I mean? You're just in that state where everything is just, you're just reacting. You don't have to think about it. Flow state, fun.
Yeah, no, it's sweet. It's definitely, it feels different when you're in there. You don't have to think about anything. You're just doing.
Yeah, baby. It's fun. So, hey, I'm going to talk to each of you individually, but like who's the craziest guy on the D side? Maybe one of you guys. I mean, you guys tell me who's the craziest.
Man, I personally would say that Tug Smith is probably one of the craziest dudes on our defense. I mean, that dude flies downhill. For everyone that might not know, Tug Smith plays safety for us, and that dude flies downhill and hits some people, man. He is fearless, and it really shows in his play on the field.
Yeah, I've heard it up in the stands. He's putting smacks on.
Yeah, no.
Shit, with your name Tug, you know what I mean? You got to be just ripping it.
Yeah. No kidding.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fun. Okay, Garrett, question for you. Couple that kind of go in line. So talk about where you're from, growing up, you know what I mean, your journey to Carroll. Give us a quick snippet.
Yeah, so I'm from Laramie, Wyoming. University of Wyoming's there, and so my dad played football there, and my grandpa did. And I went to Laramie High School. Just kind of got lightly recruited at high school, got a couple of walk-ons, and then Coach Van Dies actually offered me. And after some decision and just kind of some health issues with my lower back, I decided not to play football for my first year out of college or high school. And so I went to University of Wyoming for a year, I fixed my back, got stem cells injected in my lower back, and then I reached out to Fanny, and a week later I was committed. And
nice.
Came up here and never been happier.
Sometimes the stars coming along, but you're a you grew up a cowboy.
Yeah, huge cowboy. I lived a block off campus, block from the stadium, went to all their games. So it was a little rough not going there, but
yep.
I'm going to be happier up here. And God,
you can still be a cowboy in Helena.
True. Yeah, no, I still support them. Still kind of rock the bucking horse and everything.
Well, do you wear a cowboy hat and boots?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're a cowboy.
Yeah, I got to rock it. Got to make Wyoming proud.
Are you shooting guns and fishing?
Not as much shooting guns anymore, but definitely still fishing.
Sweet, baby. Fun.
Yeah.
Well, you're a huge part of Carroll football, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Fun. Okay, Jake Walk, your turn. Talk to us about where you grew up and your journey to Carroll.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was originally born in Seattle, Washington, and then moved to Boise, Idaho, because that's where my mom was born and raised. So I've lived there for the large majority of my life. Growing up, I did like a lot of outdoor activities, a big one being snow skiing. So I knew when it came to my decision for college, I definitely wanted to be somewhere where the snow was prevalent.
Nice.
So I think location was definitely a big reason why I chose Montana. And then I was recruited pretty heavily by probably almost every school in the frontier. And, it's just kind of weird. Like when I was on my visits at Carroll, everything just kind of felt right. I liked the town. My parents really liked the town. They say that Helena reminds them of Boise like 20 years ago. So just like a small Boise. And yeah, everything's been really great since getting up here, and going to be sad to see it come to a close here soon.
No, we're not going to think about that, Jake, but a lot of football left, man. What high school did you go to?
I went to Capitol High.
Oh boy. Okay. They they have a tradition.
Yeah, they had that. That was actually another reason. There's a lot of like old tradition at that high school, and I thought that Carroll was kind of something that had that in common with their strong winning tradition in the past. So that was also another reason why that influenced my decision here.
It's awesome, man. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. My man, Hunter Pack, talk to us. Where you grow up? What's the journey?
Yep. So I'm from a smaller town in northern Colorado, Windsor, Colorado. I went to Windsor High School. And choosing a college, my dad is born and raised in Big Fork, Montana. So I knew I always wanted to go to Montana or somewhere on the West Coast, And my dad, it was funny because my dad actually went to Montana Tech and played football for 2 years.
I've given him a lot of crap about that.
Yeah, and I mean, we came on a visit here to Carroll, and I really liked it. I really liked the coaches, and kind of similar to Jake. At my high school, there's a lot of tradition, and that's what I was looking for is tradition in a program. The tradition of winning is obviously a big part of that. And then what really solidified it is my dad. I had an offer from Montana Tech, and my dad told me, like, Hunter, like, don't go to Montana Tech, go to Carroll. So that was like dad telling me to go to Carroll, like, that's probably the right decision.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, your dad's a smart man. Plus, I wouldn't want to mess with him. He's a big dude.
He's a big guy, but he's a nice guy.
He's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, what's something, like a funny story, something, it could be football related, college related. Just keep in mind, your folks might listen to this, so, whatever. Garrett, Jake, Hunter, you got a funny story, something on the field, something that, we'd laugh at?
Oh, man.
Nobody's running around campus naked, right? Oh, jeez.
That's happened before.
Ha!
Freshman year, actually. I won't name names here, but after one of our, so when you're a redshirt freshman on the team, you got to get up, like, I think 3 or 4 days more than everybody else to go to workouts, at least when we were freshmen, that's how it was. So we had 6 a.m. lift, like, 3 days a week, not including the 2 6 a.m. practices. So after one of those lifts, a couple of our buddies did a what are the odds that he ran from the PE center all the way back to his dorm in quad naked. And he actually got him on it. And so we all kind of lined up in between I might still have a video of this, honestly. We all lined up from the PE center to quad, and he shot it right at the perfect time because nobody was around and nobody saw him. So looking back, probably wasn't the smartest thing, but it was funny at the time.
Oh, boy. Well, good, clean fun, right? Nobody gets hurt, but gosh, times have changed now with cell phones, so you guys be smart.
Yeah, no kidding.
Definitely changed.
Okay. Well, anything else? Funny story? Anything like that?
It's not a funny story, but some of the funniest times that we have together as a whole team are definitely on the long bus rides.
Yeah,
Those are fun.
yeah, the bus rides back are always a great time.
Lots of shenanigans, joking around.
Yeah. Yep.
Those are good times, guys. Those will last forever, man. Your football buddies are your friends for life. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. One of our pregame coaches talks was he just kind of was talking about how, like, when you're growing up and playing football in high school, you're playing with guys that you've been playing with since flag football and been growing up with pretty much your whole life. And then he was saying how it's just super cool to see, and how we all kind of thought that, when you get to college, you're so much closer with the guys on your college team compared to those that were on, your high school team. And we were just kind of like thinking about some of the reasons for that. And we felt that a big one was like when you're growing up at home, you always have like the comfort of going back to your family. But when you're like dealing with hard stuff, whether it's football related or not, you got to go to the guys that are next to you, because you know that they're the ones that'll be there for you.
The sense of brotherhood with you guys is noticed. It's a big deal.
Yeah. I think that's what we pride ourselves on, honestly.
Yeah. I
Yep.
feel like this year more than other years, I feel like we're more of a team. There's no one kind of out there doing their own thing. We're all playing for each other.
Yeah. There's definitely been a big culture change in that direction since Purcell got here. We heard in the past, like, kind of during practice, like the offense and defense, like, didn't really get along. They're kind of
They're pretty much fighting.
yeah.
Right.
Like, there were a bit of fights when we were freshmen, and so it's been cool to see how we really understand that we're all one team, and the goal is to get better as a whole and make it to Saturday.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Yep. You bleed together. You're brothers, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple quick switches. Garrett, who's your favorite NFL team?
NFL team is probably the Bills because of Josh Allen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of the Broncos too, because my dad's such a big Broncos fan his whole life.
Yep. Fun.
That one's a little hard to root for lately.
I understand. Jake, who you got?
I'm actually a Texans fan because of J.J. Watt. He was my favorite player growing up. So, I started liking the Texans because of him.
He's a beast for sure.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
That's awesome, man. Hunter, who you got?
Unfortunately, I'm a Broncos fan, riding with them through the highs and lows.
Yep, you were right there in Colorado. Okay. So guys, as we kind of like wrap things up here, like we kind of like to ask our guests to kind of like throw out a little piece of wisdom or a life philosophy, something that you've kind of got. Anybody want to jump out there and throw something out?
Yeah, I think one philosophy we've had through the D-line, I think CoCap kind of brought it up, was it's a saying of sacrifice the body, glorify the soul. And it's kind of said throughout the D-line when we're kind of going a hard time or you're hurting or we're kind of behind points-wise, and we're just like, doesn't matter. Body doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Just go out there and play. It'll last forever. I don't know. I feel like that's a big one for the D-line.
That's pretty football spiritual, man. And CoCab, I mean, what a guy to take this into the next level. I mean, love that guy. I miss him. I used to call him Thor when he had that long, flowy locks going on. But a warrior, and he's definitely passed it down to you guys and the rest of the crew. I wish I could have all you guys D-linemen, because you guys all deserve it, right? Even the practice squad guys, everybody's giving it their all just to make everybody else better.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, there's to you, CoCab. We miss you, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah, really do.
Huh. Anybody else? Little wisdom, or is that the collective one?
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty collective for us as a D-line, at least.
Definitely something that gets said daily.
Yeah, because we're all playing through pain and injuries and everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
The injuries this season have not been fun.
Yeah, you guys are warriors.
I managed to not get hurt my entire career until my last season, so it's been real great.
Yep, it's a big deal, and I'm glad this bye week's here to kind of heal you guys up and stuff.
Yeah,
which I think we're all pretty relatively healthy.
Yeah, much needed, definitely.
It's awesome. Yep. Yeah, when you're in the pit there and you get kicked in the nuts, you got to have something to get you gone to the next play.
Yeah.
Well, I love you guys. Thanks for your time. Go Saints. Let's keep ripping it, fellas.
Yeah,
we'll do it.
Long season left.
How about if we pinch your nipples? What? Just pinch them.
A send-off with a nipple pinch?
Why
You're
not?
gonna give him a purple nurple? All right, well, thanks for joining us again today. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we are coming out with new episodes. And let's go Twins.
Wow. Go Blue Jays and go Saints, baby. Fighting Saints. Let's roll.